What happens when arrogance, racism, and abuse of power collide with calm strength and hidden authority? This isn't just about neighborhood drama, it's about prejudice exposed and arrogance crushed. Sometimes the people you underestimate are the very ones who bring you down. Before we dive in, welcome to Voices Unchained. Please like this video, subscribe, and drop your location in the comments. We'd love to see how far these stories travel. Marcus was not a man of many words. In the neighborhood, most people knew him simply as the quiet homeowner who spent weekends in his garage tinkering with projects or walking hand in hand with his wife Jasmine around the block. Few knew his past, and he preferred it that way. Beneath his calm exterior was a man forged in fire, a retired Navy SEAL who had served his country in hostile war zones across the world. His training, discipline, and resilience were unmatched. But here in suburbia, he sought nothing more than peace. Jasmine was his heart. Graceful, kind, and resilient in her own right, she brought warmth to everyone she met. Her love for gardening was evident. Her flower beds bloomed like vibrant paintings in the front yard. To Marcus, she was the anchor that steadied him after years of turmoil. Together, they built their lives brick by brick, determined to find serenity. But peace doesn't always last when others are determined to destroy it. At the helm of the neighborhood's HOA was Karen. She was the kind of person who weaponized rules, turning them into tools of control. If someone's grass grew half an inch too tall, she wrote them up. If a car stayed parked on the street too long, fines appeared in the mail. For most residents, it was irritating but tolerable. For Marcus and Jasmine, it was relentless. Karen despised their presence, not because they violated rules, but because of who they were. Her prejudice was thinly veiled behind clipped tones and smug smiles, but her disdain was clear in every HOA meeting. She had made it her mission to remind Marcus and Jasmine they didn't belong. She thought herself untouchable, backed by the HOA board, her title as president, and her arrogance, but she was about to make a fatal mistake. It was a warm Wednesday afternoon. The air buzzed with cicadas as Jasmine stepped outside with her watering can, tending to the roses she loved so dearly. The sound of trickling water was soothing until the low hum of an SUV rolling slowly down the street disrupted the peace. A sleek black vehicle stopped in front of their home. Three men stepped out, all wearing black vests. HOA enforcer. Jasmine frowned. What in the world? The leader barked, "You owe unpaid fines. Karen sent us to collect. You've been ignoring the rules of this community for too long." Unpaid fines? Jasmine's voice shook with both confusion and anger. "We don't owe anything. And even if we did, you don't have the right to come onto my property like this." One of the men sneered. "Shut your mouth, monkey. You don't even deserve to live here." Her chest tightened at the slur. She tried to steady her voice. "Leave. Now, you have no authority here." The leader stepped closer, mocking her. "We are the authority. Karen made us HOA enforcement. Our job is to put you and your husband in your place." When Jasmine refused to back down, his hand shot out. Crack! He slapped her hard across the face. She cried out, stumbling backward, clutching her cheek. The sound ripped through the quiet neighborhood. Curtains shifted, doors opened, neighbors stepped onto porches, whispering and gasping. Some pulled out phones, recording, others simply stared, frozen, shocked that such a thing could happen in broad daylight. In the garage, Marcus froze mid-motion, tools clattering to the ground. He sprinted outside, his heart pounding, his eyes locked onto his wife, shaken, tears welling, and three strangers towering over her. "What the hell is going on here?" Marcus barked. The leader smirked. "You're Marcus, huh? You've been ignoring fines, ignoring Karen's letters. She sent us to collect. Time to learn some respect." Marcus's jaw tightened. "You're trespassing. There's no such thing as HOA enforcers." One of them stepped forward. "You think you're special? You think the rules don't apply to you? People like you never belong in neighborhoods like this." Marcus's voice dropped low. "Say whatever you want about me, but you put your hands on my wife? That was your biggest mistake." Marcus gently guided Jasmine toward the door. "Go inside. Lock the door." His tone was calm but firm. She hesitated, then obeyed, immediately calling the sheriff. Marcus faced the men again. "You've got 5 seconds to leave my property." They laughed. "Or what?" the leader mocked. "You gonna call the cops? We are the cops here. Karen gave us full authority." Marcus shook his head slowly. "Authority isn't something Karen can hand out, and I don't need 5 seconds. I need 3. "Big talk," another sneered. "Let's see what you've got." The first man tried to circle behind Marcus, a rookie mistake. With lightning precision, Marcus pivoted, driving his elbow into the man's nose. Blood sprayed as he collapsed with a groan. The second lunged, fists swinging. Marcus sidestepped, hooking his leg and sending him crashing into the dirt. The third, enraged, charged recklessly. Marcus caught his wrist mid-swing, twisted it sharply until the man howled, then slammed him onto the hood of their SUV. Neighbors gasped audibly. Phones clicked and cameras rolled. Some cheered under their breath. Others muttered, "About time someone stood up to them." The leader spat blood, glaring up at him. "You'll regret this. Karen runs this place. She's going to bury you in fines." Marcus leaned down, his voice cold as steel. "No, she just buried herself." Minutes later, sirens cut through the tension. Sheriff Daniels, a longtime friend of the couple, pulled up, his cruiser lights flashing. He surveyed the scene. 3 beaten men sprawled on the lawn, Marcus standing firm, Jasmine shaken but safe, and half the neighborhood gathered as witnesses. "Marcus," the sheriff said calmly, "want to tell me what happened?" Marcus relayed everything: the SUV, the threats, the claim of unpaid fines, the slur, the slap. Jasmine confirmed every word. Neighbors spoke up too, some even showing the sheriff their phone recordings. The sheriff turned to the men. "Unpaid fines? Really? That's your excuse for trespassing and assault?" The leader groaned. Karen told us. She said, "Do whatever it takes." She said they were ignoring fines and we had to make them listen. The sheriff's jaw tightened. "Impersonating officers, trespassing, assault, conspiracy, and with witnesses. You boys are going to jail." He cuffed them and shoved them into the cruiser. But Karen wasn't finished. That very afternoon, she filed a lawsuit against Marcus and Jasmine, claiming they had attacked her official HOA representatives. Marcus's lawyer chuckled when he heard the story. "Relax. She's built her own gallows. All we need to do is let her climb onto the platform." Court day arrived. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation. Karen entered with her chin high, still clinging to her illusion of control. Marcus and Jasmine sat calmly, their lawyer beside them. Several neighbors who had witnessed the scene filled the benches, ready to testify. The judge called the case. Karen's lawyer painted her as the victim, her enforcers, allegedly assaulted by Marcus. But then came the evidence. Security camera footage from a neighbor's home showed the SUV pulling up, the men exiting, and one of them striking Jasmine. Multiple neighbors testified, their voices firm as they described what they saw. The sheriff added his testimony, including the men's confessions. Marcus' lawyer cited the law, California Penal Code, Page 240, defining assault as unlawful use of force. California Penal Code, Prager 241, elevating penalties when committed against protected classes. Civil Code for 602, making trespass on a private property illegal. Civil Code for 1708, establishing liability for harm caused by intentional acts. The courtroom grew silent as Jasmine described the humiliation and pain she felt. Marcus remained composed, his discipline unshaken. The judge leaned forward. "The evidence is clear. The plaintiff's claims are baseless. Instead, this court finds her actions malicious and discriminatory. The lawsuit is dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, damages will be awarded to the defendants for emotional distress, assault, and harassment." Karen's face drained of color. Her empire of control crumbled in a single ruling. The sheriff approached Marcus afterward, shaking his hand. "She thought fines gave her power. She didn't realize you're the last man anyone should try to intimidate." Karen's downfall was swift. She lost not only her lawsuit, but her position as HOA president. Neighbors who once feared her fines turned their backs. Some even apologized to Marcus and Jasmine for not standing up sooner. Her name became synonymous with shame. Marcus and Jasmine, meanwhile, regained their peace. They didn't celebrate with arrogance. They simply continued living with dignity, knowing the truth had prevailed. The lesson? Prejudice has consequences. Abuse of power backfires. And sometimes, the quiet neighbor you underestimate is the one trained to survive the worst storms. And that's today's story. What would you do if 3 fake cops showed up at your door over unpaid fines? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this story gripped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because more powerful stories are on the way.